Hello, everyone. We are gathered here today on another Friday. See, two people are here so far. Who's here so far? Karina L. Hello. I'm gonna try to experiment with like times that I go live and everything. Katie Allen, Leanna Duaney, Jesus Christ, Des P. Hey guys. I'm trying to experiment with times to go live because I know there's different time zones all over the world, and I want to, talk to as many people as I can when I do go live. So I'm doing this a little bit later than I normally do today, even though people in the UK were like, oh, but it's really late here. I'm sorry. Because normally I do it like 1 or 2-ish, and right now it's 4 where I'm at. And this is normally the time when I'm finishing a stream. So 1 a.m., 12 a.m. in the UK. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard to find a good enough time. I literally just finished filming another video. I'm curious, have you guys heard of One Nation? The video that I'm going to upload tomorrow is all about them and how they're being pedophiles to young girls in a group chat, asking for nudes, saying very explicit things that they plan to do to them. And yeah, so I just made a video about that. And that's probably going to be up tomorrow. So once I'm finished the live, I'll probably go to start editing that video. What's crazy is when the girls started to send me like their ads and their Instagrams, I recognized 2 of the names because I met them before in Hongdae last September-ish. One was Rich Hobo and the other was Fuckboy Men. I wish I was making up these dumbass names, but I'm not. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, Chili posted a video about it, and then people were asking me to follow the Instagram so I could learn more. And I was in a video call on Instagram with a few of them, but yeah. So yeah, do you guys have any questions about this is another FAQ Friday. Let's get some questions in. Yeah, their names are ridiculous. Yeah, and even some people, after they saw Chili's video, they were trying to warn me because apparently some of the girls who were like supporting these guys have been attacking her. So she's like, yo, be careful because they might come for you too. And I'm like, I'm not really worried about that. Okay, Charnay Monique, what are some essential apps you need in Korea? For one, absolutely Kakao, because that's even how your mentor teacher prefers to keep in contact with you. So Kakao Maps to get around because it's in English. Naver Maps is also in English now, which it wasn't at first. There's also a lot of like air pollution apps. I think that would be a good idea to have. So, like if you should wear your mask or if you might have a little irritation. Yeah, there's a few. Some other apps that I had. Actually, I had Hello Talk for a while too. That helped kind of keep me up to date with like Korean slang because people like there were literally accounts who would be like, hey, just so you guys know, this is like what Koreans are saying these days, and you can learn like slang and stuff. So that's useful. Please tell us about your K songs you have been listening to on repeat. On repeat though? Fine. Actually, let me look at my phone and see what I've been playing lately. Because there actually haven't been too many like Korean ones, I don't think, that I've been like playing a lot. Actually, okay, that's a lie. Mayday by Victon or Bigton. I like that song, Mayday. And One We, that song with Hwasa. I actually like Twice's song more and more too. Normally I'm not wild about Twice's music, but yo, more and more. I actually do like that song. Okay, Gabrielle Marie, does hookup / friends with benefit culture exist in Korea? Of course. Oh my God. Dude, that's like all it is. I hate it because it even got to the point where all of my like dating apps or all the apps I used to try and meet people, I would have no FWB, no ONS, no one night stand, no hookups. And people would, the first message would be like, hi, ONS, hi, FWB, hi, hookup. I'm like, y'all can't read? I would say it in English and Korean, and they would still message me like, so tonight though, yeah, hookups and one night stands and friends with benefits are annoyingly a thing in Korea. um. Oh, we got Shiten watching from Korea. What's the worst Yippee dog? What's the worst experience you've had in Korea? Um, Worst? I don't know. Like, I don't really think I've had too many where I was like, that was awful. But like I said, there was this really weird time where I was at the ATM and some old guy, I had Senegalese twist in, and he just yanked it really hard and then walked away. And I was just like, because it hurt and it was embarrassing because I'm like, no one said, hey, like, what are you doing? Everybody was just kind of like, oh, well, it's not me. So that was probably one of the worst moments for me in Korea. Yeah. Wow, these questions are coming in. Oh, I mean, Nadafu, thank you. You don't have a question? Sabrina Heaven XX, how old are you? I am 27 years old. I turned 27 on April 13th. Aries gang. Oh, of course. CCCC, can you wish me happy birthday? 생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. Actually, know the words after that, but happy birthday, CCCC. I mean, Nadafu, do they ask for one night stands just from foreigners, or they ask Korean females too? I think it goes both ways. I hate to say, but I think with foreigners, they assume it'll be like easier. So that's why they go to foreigners. But I know that Korean girls are approached about one night stands all the time as well. I've seen vlogs about it. I've seen Instagram posts about it. And even all that stuff that came out with Burning Sun and some of the victims who came out, like they were just one night stands. So yeah, it's not just a foreigner thing, but it's more likely, I think, that a foreigner's approached in that regard, like, hey, you're a foreigner, so that means this will be easier, right? And it's like, let me educate you, because no. I feel like, if anything, I tend to make myself more difficult to obtain in that regard, just so they can learn a lesson, like, oh, wow, I met this one foreigner, and it was hard. Like, she wouldn't talk to me. Gotta humble some people sometimes. Um, Bubbles 93, are people more friendly in Korea than America? I mean, as far as like small talk and stuff or casually complimenting you on something, that's not really a thing in Korea. Like Americans, it's more likely someone walking their dog, and you're like, oh, it's so cute, or oh my God, I love your hair, I love your shirt, or yo, this weather's great to a stranger. In Korea, if you approached a stranger like, I love your dog, they'd be like, like pull their dog in. So, I mean, people aren't mean in Korea. They're just not as like social in that way with like small talk and just casually talking to strangers. That's not really too much of a thing. Nisa Donnelly, when are you going back to Korea? Honestly, I'm thinking of going back for a visit when it's safe to go, but coronavirus cases are spiking in America right now. So I don't know when that'll be. I don't like being there in the summer. It's too hot, it's too humid. I don't ever want to leave my air conditioned room. So maybe September, October ish, because October is my favorite month anyway. And I just like cooler fall weather and the leaves change. And yeah, that's like my favorite time. So I'm thinking sometime in the fall. Jesus Christ, thank you. Is it lively in South Korea during the fall or October? I'm planning to go there this October. Yeah. Honestly, last year when I went and I was only supposed to go for September because I was like waiting to hear from United, and I was like, well, I don't know how long I'll be able to stay, and I bought a one-way ticket. My friend told me, you might as well just stay with me until you hear from them. Plus my birthday's coming up. Her birthday was in November, so that got me excited because I was like, all of October I'll get to stay here. In October, it's not hot. It's perfect. Like Halloween starts early. You can put all the fun stuff together for like scary themed activities for the students. I love October, period. It's my favorite month anyway. So yeah, October is popping in Korea, definitely. The leaves are so pretty. You can go to like Nami Island. There's so many like scenic parks to visit and scenic places to visit, and the leaves just look so beautiful. Karina L, how cold is Korea in winter? I'm from Florida, where it's always hot and sunny. Korean winters are brutal. Like it's very dry, bitter air. Like sometimes I remember even taking like a deep breath in through my nose and like my nose felt like dry because it was so dry and bitter. Like it's weird. So long padding coats, I was so grateful they became a thing and became a style because they are very useful. Oh my God, like it's like a sleeping bag. It's perfect, but I still prefer cold weather to hot. So I didn't really mind the winters too much. Let's see. Wendolyn underscore, is it like New York City winter or worse? Personally, I think it's a little worse. But honestly, because I remember winters in New York are pretty windy, especially like you're downtown and the air is being channeled between tall buildings. But I still got to give the worst edge a little bit to Korea. I think it's like more dry, like it's bitter. I can't really explain it, but winters in Korea, not great. I'm gonna try to go up a bit because I feel like there's a lot of questions and I don't want to miss so many. Um, Yasmin.A. Do you get compared to black celebrities in Korea? Because my basic ass got compared to Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce, and I was just thinking, what? Yeah. Um, I got compared to Beyonce when I had blonde hair. I got compared to Tinashe, which I was like, oh wow, they know who Tinashe is. That was impressive. Um, and one of my students told me I look like Oprah, but that's probably the only black person she knew. So she's like, teacher, you like Oprah. I'm like, okay. Um, yeah, that tends to happen a lot. I've gotten compared to Karuchi in Korea. Like this all this stuff only in Korea. I think in the States, the only celebrity I ever get compared to, and I fully understand, is Kat Graham, because my face is like a clone of hers. The first time somebody told me I look like Kat Graham, I was a freshman in college, and it was my boyfriend at the time, his roommate. He's like, hey, do you watch Vampire Diaries? And I was like, no, I don't know what that is. He's like, you look like Bonnie Bennett. And I was like, who's that? He's like, oh, she's an actress named Kat Graham. So I Googled her and I was like, yikes, I look just like her. And I think at least once a day now, people are like, you look just like Kat Graham. And I'm like, I've been told once or a million times. Yeah. Melinda Mobie, how is Seoul in July since I'm going there next year? Hot. They they also usually in July they have Jangma, which is like the rainy season, so it rains a lot and it's extra humid. I wouldn't advise July travel, but I mean some people do like hot weather. So if you like hot, sticky, rainy weather, then Seoul is popping in July. Nalia Seal, what kind of jobs do you think foreigners can do in Korea besides teaching? If you don't speak Korean, maybe the military or like a tutor. But if you want to get like a normal job, a corporate job, a part-time job at a convenience store, working at a beauty place, like if there aren't too many markets in the company, like say there are companies like that are trying to reach out to foreigners, like beauty stuff, like for example, Soul Guide Medical, like they're for foreigners primarily. So like if they need like English speakers in certain departments, things like that. But unless you speak like some sort of Korean or some fluent-ish Korean, there aren't too many jobs, I think, besides like teaching, military, tutor, and some sort of foreign branch of a company, if that makes any sense. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, Nami Island, my bad. I don't speak well. Nami is Nami Som, so it's Nami Island, like Namju. Sometimes I wish I could cut out the dumb stuff in these lives because I'm stupid. Um, Simsa, do you prefer dating foreigners or Koreans? Foreigners. That's easy. Um, Like for me, like I said, like it's not like I went to Korea like, oh, I can't wait to date Koreans. It's just being in Korea for 2 years and having few foreigners, and honestly, a lot of foreigners who are there are like guys who fetish or like want Korean women. So they're like not gonna go all the way to Korea and then date some black girl. They're like, I'm here, so I'm gonna date a Korean girl. So even since I've been back in the States, I haven't talked to like any Korean guys in that way. I haven't like been flirty or datey-ish with any Korean guys. It's just while I was in Korea. So yeah, I prefer foreigners. Like there are cultural similarities, they speak English. Um, there isn't as much miscommunication. Kevin Fan, what what what's it like shopping for makeup in South Korea with a darker complexion? It is a scavenger hunt because me and it was like this was like I think summer of 2017, and me and two of my friends, Lauren and Cecilia, we're darker. Like Cecilia was from South Africa, and then Lauren is from Detroit. So we were like, yo, we're gonna find some makeup for us. Like we're gonna do this, and we actually found a MAC store in Apgujeong, and it's near Gangnam, and they actually have like darker shades. Like they have like a variety. That was the only store we found that had foundation in our shades. So buying things like concealer, foundation, blush is kind of frustrating with darker skin because even if you go to like any Etude House or Olive Young, they'll have these makeups labeled in shades like deep and dark. And I'm like, that's dark? Like that's like this color. That's not dark or deep. So yeah, it's pretty difficult. It's not that great. It's hard. You probably will want to bring your own foundation from your home country or order it online from Korea, but going in person, that one MAC store in Apgujeong is the only place we found that served us. But also, I think Sephora opened up in Gangnam last fall, so that might be an option. They might have darker shades, and I think Fenty is there too. So yeah, I think maybe now it might be a little different, but when I went, it was only Apgujeong. I am Bob. Can you have a full conversation in Korean? No. I that's why I don't like to really speak Korean too much because if I say a few sentences, then the other person is like, "Oh, she can speak Korean," and they start going off, and I'm like, "You lost me." So I'm really good with vocabulary. I'm better at reading it than hearing it. When people speak it, I can't really understand for long. That's my issue. I haven't even been able to plan or practice with too many people to speak it, so I cannot have a conversation. Um. Oh, Kylie Sonier, thank you, Sonier. When letting people drink, allowing people in clubs, do they go by Korean age or international age? Uh, that's actually a good question. I'm pretty sure it's international. I think because if you're a foreigner, I think they'll go by your international age, but the drinking age is like 19. So yeah, I mean, because either way, it'd be okay because if you're 19 international, then that makes you like 18 Korean. Actually, that's a really good question. I don't know. I've never seen an 18-year-old go to the club and get turned away, even if they're a foreigner, because they kind of look at it like, whatever. Especially trying to buy soju at convenience stores, they don't really seem to care that much about your age. But to get into a club, I think 19 and over is like international age based on the year you were born. I think they would, yeah, I think they go by international age. Um, Bianca Ariel, what are your best tips on how to make friends in Korea? Like legit friends, not friends with benefits. If you're talking about Korean friends, aside from like coworkers, I'd suggest like meetups, like on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook too much these days because I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg, but they have a lot of like meetup groups and language exchange things. There's a ton of groups meant for foreigners to meet Korean people and to mingle in that regard. Because there are a lot of Korean people who want to practice their English and they want to be able to brag to their friends how they have foreigner friends. So there are a lot of meetups and stuff like that. Online, it's like a mixed bag. Sometimes you get people who are genuinely just trying to hang out. Like I've met maybe 4 people who were Korean from the apps who never try to get like freaky or like, so you're a foreigner, so that means you sleep around, right? I've never there's like 3 or 4 people I can say that I met on apps that were actually just trying to be a nice person, whereas like 30 of them were like, so that what that booty do, you know? So I would say meetups if you're trying to actually make friends, but if you're trying to make foreign friends, anywhere, uh, at work, clubbing, cafes, clubbing, like that's where you meet some of the best foreigners. Like they're fun, have a good time, you know. Um, Diana Ahmad, how old are you? I'm 27. I think you might have missed the earlier in the chat. Yeah, I am 27 as of 2 months ago. Yippee dog, do you recommend going to Korea in high school or older age? Older age, I'm not sure how you go in high school. Like, do you mean like to travel? But if you go there to travel as a high schooler, you can't really do much. So definitely college age, 20s, 30s is like the best time to go to Korea. Hosok, I love that name. Oh, wait, where'd the question go? Do you know if Koreans are open to LGBTQ plus people? Some are and some aren't. Like, there's actually a Pride festival that happens in Korea once a year every summer. I don't know if it'll happen this year because of Corona, but I was pleasantly surprised. I only got to go to one. I went in 2018, and I was pleasantly surprised by how many people were there. There were a lot of people, you know, in rainbow stuff, waving banners saying love is love. And of course, you had the hecklers, like the Trump-ish crowd people. They had signs holding up, like standing there with a megaphone saying like homosexuality is a sin, pray for forgiveness, dumb stuff like that. And for some reason, all that was only in English, which kind of blew me. I'm like, this is an audience full of mostly Korean, but you feel the need to put that in English. That was interesting. But yeah, no, I know that it's a thing, like people are starting to open up to it, but like I'm pretty sure same-sex marriage is still illegal there. It's not really, older people pretty much are just like no still, but younger people are like whatever, it's 2020. So it's a mixed bag, I think, but most people are definitely opening up to it. Like there's this famous gay celebrity. He's like a chef. He has a ton of restaurants in Itaewon, and a lot of people still go there. A lot of people support his businesses. So yeah. Um, Charnay Monique, are there any beauty supply stores? Not yelling, just hope you see this. Yeah, there are a ton. Oh my God. I literally, you can't go a block without seeing some sort of makeup or beauty based store. There could be an Innisfree here on this corner, and you look down the block and you'll see one there, another Innisfree. There's Town, Etude House, Skin to Skin. Like there's just so many on every corner. Like you cannot escape a beauty store in Korea, and especially if you go to like Myeongdong or Hongdae, there are people outside with samples. Like, hey, you want a mask? You want a mask? Come in the store. Yeah, skin makeup stuff. There's no short supply of makeup in Korea. Like you good if you want makeup in Korea. BTS Whiting. What is your opinion on foreigners in K-pop, especially Black people, since K-pop does have a lot of Black influence? I mean, I don't care if they want to be a K-pop idol. I'm not sure what you mean, like my opinion on it, but for me, obviously, if you're a foreigner or a Black person and you want to be like a K-pop idol, you would probably have to learn how to speak Korean because you can't like go there and only speak English. You probably wouldn't make it that far in the process. But yeah, I think, you know, any foreigner that wants to make K-pop or be in K-pop should do it. As long as it's not like a cringy, disrespectful way like we've seen in, I forgot what that group was. It was like 4 white dudes and only like 8 words were Korean. So that was kind of hard to watch. Empress, can you find braids and tracks in Korea? If you go to Itaewon, yeah, because whenever I was clubbing in Hongdae and I would like compliment a girl on her braids, and I was like, "Did you get that done here?" She said, "Yeah, girl, in Itaewon." So yeah, there are shops where you can get your hair braided up and buy like braiding hair and stuff in Itaewon. Like when I did my Senegalese twist, it's more expensive. Oh my God! Like normally, like if I'm buying braiding hair here in America, it would be like $2.99 or like $4.99, $5.99. In Korea, for each pack of braiding hair, I think it was like $15.99 or $20.99. Like it was a lot. And I had to buy like 3-4 packs. So I was kind of mad. I was like, if I was in America, this would be a lot more affordable. Empress, are there any fully black K-pop idols? Not that I know of. I don't think so. Most like they're like half black rappers, half black singers, but I don't think they're fully black ones. Lori Jabelli, are girls expected to always wear skin-bearing clothes to be pretty? Skin-bearing? Like showing skin? Um, Not necessarily, because actually that's one of the things I kind of like about Korean fashion. Like you can wear these like overly baggy jeans and like a cute loose fitting sweater, and people, oh no, yepuda, yepuda, or like a cute long maxi skirt. Like yeah, Koreans, they're not really all about like showing skin to be attractive. If anything, people are like, the more skin you show, the more hoish you might be by their logic. So yeah, no, you don't have to show skin to be like, oh yepuda in Korea. Um, Skylar, when you were in Korea, did you shop at Emart or Daiso a lot, like for your home things, or did you like order things online a lot? I lived in Daiso when I had to furnish my second apartment. I got like my lights from Daiso, my bedding, the cute pillows, the rugs, my cups, plates, dish detergent, candles, everything I got from Daiso. I've never used Emart. I did go to Emart, but I never like ordered anything online in Korea. I've never used like Gmarket or anything because I couldn't figure it out, honestly. Like I never had a Korean phone number that I could use, and you have to use a Korean phone number to use those services and stuff. But yeah, I went to Emart for groceries, for bedding. I went to Daiso for candles, lights, hampers, everything. Yippee dog, any creepy encounters in Korea? I actually just made a video about that last week, and I think I'm gonna do a part 2 for next week. But yeah, like about the time when the old man like refused to not stare at me. One of my kids peeked under the bathroom stall while me and my co-teacher were in there and thought it was funny and kept laughing and banging on the stall. I was followed coming out of what's that club called? Gabia. Yeah, there are definitely some creepy encounters, but it's weird because if this stuff were to happen in America, I think I would have been scared. But if, but when it happened in Korea, I was just more annoyed than like scared. Levi Jenkins, is there a Daiso in Cali? Wait, where'd it go? Sorry, I lost the question. Is there a Daiso? Is the Daiso in Cali different than Korea? Yeah, I went to one of the Daisos like around the corner, and it wasn't as like cutesy, and they didn't have as much plushy type of things in stock. And I noticed the prices were a lot more. And for some reason, the prices were in Japanese. I know Daiso is from Japan, but when I was in Korea, the prices were in Korean won, and in America, instead of it being in dollars, it's in yen. So that was interesting. All these questions are coming in so fast. Teddy bear hugs. Which should I wear to clubs in Korea? It depends on the club. If it's like EDM-y, sadly, those type of clubs are like in Hongdae or in Gangnam, and they kind of expect like the bodycon, tight-fitting dresses or like low-cut stuff, off the shoulder, really short skirts. If you're going to more like a hip-hop spot, you can wear like high-waisted jeans with like a crop top, bucket hat. Like there's like certain styles. It just depends on the club you go and like the district you go to. Letitia Mercy, have you interacted with One Nation? It's funny because I just literally like 30 minutes ago finished up the video I made about them because I didn't even know they were One Nation, but I'll talk about it a little more in depth, so hopefully it can help prepare you for the video tomorrow. So I got some DMs from people asking me to talk about One Nation, and I didn't know who they were. I've never heard of them. But then when she sent me like their individual Instagrams, I recognized 2 of the names. So Yeah, last September, I was in Hongdae at like 6 in the morning, heading to the trains with one of my friends. And we're just like, I mean, we're not drunk, but we're not sober either. So we're just like, oh my gosh, like it's so crazy night. And then we hear these dudes like, yo, what's good? Like, hey, hey. And we're like, huh? And then we see these clownish looking dudes like, yo, what's good? And trying to like talk to us. And me and my friend, we literally looked at each other and just laughed and just like kept going to the trains. So yeah, that was my interaction. They asked for me and her Instagram, and we gave it to them because we're like a follower. Sure, it's a new follower, and a few DMs like, "Hey, I see you're on YouTube. I'm a rapper. You want to be in this video? You cute." I was like, "Okay, cool." Nothing extensive. Like after my dry responses to them, they unfollowed me. So that was it. I've never really interacted with them aside from that, and that was like almost a year ago now. So yeah. I am Bob. Should I make an effort to hide my tattoos in Korea, even at the beach? I have many. It depends where they are and how big they are, because tattoos are starting to become more like acceptable. But there are older people who have the mindset that if you have tattoos and you're in a gang, which is dumb because I have tattoos, but I think it depends where they are. Like if they're big arm ones, I would maybe try to hide them, or it depends what they are too. But also, being a foreigner, you kind of get a pass for having tattoos. People are kind of like, oh, but they're a foreigner, so that's kind of what they do. So like even when I applied to be a teacher and I mentioned in the Skype call that I had tattoos, they're like, okay, as long as they're hidden, we know. She even said we even know foreigners tend to have tattoos, so it's not a big deal. So yeah. AW, how do Korean women feel about Black men? Um, I think they think they're cool. Uh, I know, especially the ones who like hip hop and stuff, just like really think they're cool, athletic. I will never forget when I went to see Black Panther for the third time. I went to see that movie like 4 times, I think. But there was this Korean girl, and she was like on a date. I'm assuming she was on a date because she was with a guy. They were arm in arm at first. And that moment that Michael B's fine ass appeared on that screen, her eyes got so wide, and she was just like, whoa, like fanning herself. And her boyfriend like shoved her, was like, y'all, like what? She's oh, like being all shy, but she was like fanning herself when he came on the screen. So I think, for the most part, they probably just say, oh, Black people are cool, Black people are athletic. But I know that one in particular loved her some Michael B. Jordan, and I cannot blame her. Oh, I don't know if I can pronounce that name. Not, oh, no. Nada Pafaha, AJ. I'm so sorry. Is Busan just as fun as Seoul? To me, yeah. I only got to go to Busan once, and I went club hopping. We went to the beach, but it did rain a lot while we were there. But yeah, I next time I go back to Korea, I am absolutely planning to spend more time in Busan, and I want to go to that Cafe Alice table or something that I think like Jimin's family owns. I definitely want to do a lot more sightseeing there. It was pretty lit in Busan, just like in Seoul. I do wish Busan and Seoul were closer, just so I could like hop from one place to the other, but they're hours apart unless you fly, because it's like an hour. But yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Evelyn Carmona, in Korea, how do they look at pregnancy? Pretty much the same as like America. I think it's a bit of a stigma if it happens too young. I think they're still more hung up on the pregnancy outside of marriage thing, how that's like a shameful thing to do. Where in America, it's becoming more normal. I think pregnancy in Korea, like people don't really talk about like abortion or anything, not that I know of. I don't think it's legal there. But I do remember seeing this Asian Boss video where there's like this guy who takes in, like women will leave their baby on the doorstep and the guy helps take care of these kids. I don't fully remember everything, but I think it's pretty similar to America, but like they frown on it if it's outside of marriage or if you're too young and you have a baby. Um, mm-hmm. Elisa Violet Empire. Do Koreans judge if you wear more revealing clothes? Sadly, I hate to say, I think it depends on your body shape. I think if you're a skinny, petite ass person, you can show as much skin as you want. You can wear these shortest shorts and the shortest skirt. You can wear a really low cut top. You can show your shoulders. But if you're a little bigger, I feel like they think you should cover up and you shouldn't show that, which isn't that different from the States. It also depends where you're going. Like if you're going out, then no one cares. But if you're like going to work with like this type of shirt on, people will be like, girl, there are kids here. So I think it just depends on where you're going and your body type, unfortunately. Min Yoongi, Salma, what's the best city you've been to in Korea? That's hard. That's really hard. Just one city? I actually really like the vibes of Busan. Like, for one, it was kind of cool to see like the bridge from Black Panther, but like I like all the mountains with like the hotels and buildings on the mountains. I like being so close on the water. I like Incheon a lot too, though, because it's like Seoul, but it's a bit more quiet and it doesn't smell as much. Like in Seoul, there are like random pockets of like, ooh, what does that smell? And I think in Incheon, things are a little more spaced out. So I think Incheon and Busan are my favorite. Um, Amelia Valencia, in Korea, do people judge you your weight or not? They do. And they're blunt about it. If you look a little pudgy or a little extra or a little more thick on one day, they will flat out say, are you gaining weight? Like they don't hide that. In a way, I feel like it's good to be honest, but like damn, like can you not judge me? But you know, and kids will call you out on it too. Oh my God. I think like towards the beginning of 2018, I started to gain weight because I wasn't teaching for a few months. And when I came to work, kids were like, teacher, did you gain weight? Or teacher, you're heavy, or teacher, your hips are big. I'm like, fuck you. So yeah, they definitely criticize you on that and they tell you all about that. Lorene Jabelli, I love that name. I'm sorry. Would you say guys in Korea have more chivalry than other places? Not necessarily. See, and I actually get a lot of questions from people who love Korean dramas, and they ask if it's like that in real life, and their hearts are broken when I tell them no, hell no. It's just TV. Honestly, like guys in America offer to pay for dinner, guys in America open doors, guys in Korea do the same. I think guys in Korea are a little more like protective of you if they like you. Like when you're crossing the street, they'll like put their arm in front of you, and I'm like, I stopped too. Like I know that to not cross on the red, you know? Or they'll like put their hands around you more often in public than I think in America. But I don't think it's more like a chivalry thing. I think it's pretty much the same everywhere, in my opinion, in my experience. Um, okay, these questions are rolling in. um, crap. Every time I think I see one, it like scrolls back up too fast. Um, okay, I'm gonna try and scroll up more. Uh, du-du-du-du, du-du-du-du. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good one. Okay, Jasma Oglesby. What would you normally wear to work as a teacher? My typical work attire outfit uniform was like a button up, like a maybe like a three-fourth quarter sleeve, three-fourth quarter sleeve button up. Usually, honestly, I got kind of lucky where all three of my schools are pretty lax on the dress code, so I could wear like dark jeans. I never showed up to work in like blue jeans or jeans with rips in them or anything. So I would wear like slacks or dark jeans with a button up top. I wouldn't have any like danglies in. I would keep my studs in. Your hair they don't really care too much about. Some schools care about like the color, which again I got kind of lucky because if you guys see on my Instagram back in the day, I had like pink in my hair, purple, blue, red. No one cared. It was actually kind of cute when my students would be like, "Teacher, we have the same color," and I'm like, "Oh yay!" So yeah, it depends on your school, but for the most part, I think people wear like blazers, button ups, blouses that aren't too low cut, and pants like slacks or dark jeans. And maybe you could get away with a long skirt. I've never seen a teacher wear a long skirt, but I've never worn one either. Um, Tori, If you wear braids, somebody gonna try and touch your hair. Yeah, definitely. Uh, even it's not even just braids. Like even if you have like your natural curly, kinky texture out, they'll kind of be like, "Oh wow!" Like I made a video about that. My friend Erin has like curly hair, and this guy was like, "Oh, Itaewon," because Itaewon is like where people can go to get perms like that done. So he assumed it was Itaewon. She was like, "No, I'm just black. It just grows like this." And my friend Bria, she always has braids. Well, not always, but like she'll have like the locks, the braids, long ones, and people will just touch it or poke it or point at it and be like, I want my hair like that. The one time I had Senegalese twist, it was yanked by some old man. So more likely than not, it'll at the very least get you stared at more. But yeah, people will probably try to touch it and be like, oh, that's so cool. My friend Nikki, when we were at a subway bathroom, a woman, old Ajima, was mopping and was like, whoa, saying how cool it was and wanting to touch her hair. And Nikki's like, you're mopping, do not touch my hair, you're cleaning toilets, back up. And she's like, oh, sorry. But yeah, I feel like they sometimes can't help it. They're like moth to a flame and they're just like, oh. So you do gotta worry about it. Um, JVS Mitchell, are there any barbershops for men in Korea? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because in Korea, men take their hair just as seriously as girls do. Like they want to have like the undercut, the fade on the side. Guys care about their hair and appearance a lot more in Korea than I think they do in America. But if you have more like textured hair, I'd suggest Itaewon. But there's also a few salons that like claim to cater to like reggae style hair. I hate that's why I'm using air quotes. They call it reggae hair, even though that's not what it is. But there are definitely plenty of places for people to get their hair done, it's male or female. But also a lot of guys go to like unisex salons too because their hairstyles sometimes their haircuts end up being a little similar. So yeah, I think it just depends. Um, Lanasia Coots, do they have products for Black people in Korea, or would it be better to bring some with you? It's better to bring some with you because when you do find them, like in Itaewon, they cost more. They cost way more. I think I needed when I did my twist, I got some like Shea Moisture lock butter, and for probably what would have been like maybe $6.99 at Walmart or Target in Itaewon, I think that shit was like 22,001, and I was just like for this. So yeah, bring your own if you don't mind, unless you don't mind like spending way more than you should. That's what I would say. Um, Jesus Christ, have you ever gotten your hair colored in South Korea? I have purple hair, and so I'm looking to maintain it while there. I actually did my own. Like the only thing I've gone to a salon for recently ever is a Korean magic straight perm. I recently, well, not recently, it was like last August, the most recent time I did it. But when I was in Korea, the only time I went to a salon was to get the magic straight perm. I would cut my own hair, color my own hair. They have also in Olive Young and all these beauty stores, they have a ton of hair color and hair dye and purple dye. So what I would use to do to maintain my like purple tips, I had like a bottle of conditioner that was like smaller, and I would mix the purple dye in it. So every time I washed my hair, I would condition it with the purple in it, and it would just help like freshen up the color a little bit. But I never went to a salon for hair color. I honestly, personally, would be a little too scared to trust someone not familiar with my hair texture to color it or lighten it in any way. So I did that myself. Um, Coldest Sprite, are there any hair salons that you know how to deal with black hair? There are a few. Like the one I went to in Jeju, Kevin's salon. Um, I forgot. There's this other salon. I don't because he's done hair. He's Korean, but he's done hair in America and in Korea, and they do reggae style hair. So they give people like these kinky afro textures, like they coil it up and everything and brush it out. They do dreadlocks. There are places, yeah, there are people who there claim to be experts. There's definitely variety in Korea for that. Um, Yippee dog. Have you stayed in any other countries beside Korea? I visited other countries. I stayed in Hong Kong for like 8 days. I stayed in Japan for like 7 or 8 days. But that was one of the reasons I didn't want to teach anymore because there wasn't enough vacation time to actually travel and do stuff. So that's why I was like, I'm going to be a flight attendant. And Corona said, not yet. So you don't get that much time to travel as a teacher, unfortunately. There's not a lot of vacation days. Jesus Christ. Oh, where'd it go? Any good nail salons that deal with us English speakers? Yeah, I mean, I've only been to like four salons because one of them I just started to go to like over and over again. And for the most part, like if you show them a picture of what you want, and they're really sweet. It's this nail shop in Myeongdong. I think it was called Myeongdong Nail. They're very sweet. Their prices are very reasonable, and the polish lasts for weeks on me. Like the gel polish would last so long, I would have to just have it like filed away, or it would start to grow out looking like it was a fake nail on me. But yeah, they're really sweet. They try really hard to understand you, and since they're in Myeongdong, they get a good mix of foreigners. There's a ton of nail shops in Itaewon that have English speakers, so yeah, that's definitely not a problem. Min Yoongi Salma, what languages do they learn at school? Aside from English, I've met someone who was a Chinese teacher or like Chinese language teacher. I've met someone who was a Spanish tutor, and I met someone who taught Japanese. So I think it just depends on the hagwon or the school, but I know in my public school, it was just me for English and it was someone else for Chinese. But again, there are hagwons, like academies for other languages too. Um, Kinley Brown, what's the best place to go to look at nature in Korea? I think Jeju is a really good place for that. If you want to like hike Mount Hallasan, because fun fact, Mount Hallasan is actually the highest peak in South Korea. On the whole Korean peninsula, it's like Mount Baekdusan, but that's North Korea-China border. Can't easily access it unless you go through the China side. But yeah, I think Mount Hallasan in Jeju was really nice. The beaches there are really nice. Nami Island, I keep talking about it because I really like it. Gangneung has some really beautiful beaches. Busan had really cute mountains with honestly a lot of Korea is just very scenic. Like people always talk about like Seoul, Busan, Gwangju, Incheon, Daegu, but the whole middle because all these major cities are like bordered. Like Incheon and Seoul are up here, Gwangju's down here, Busan's over here. Like, but the whole middle part of the country, like on those bus rides from like Seoul down somewhere else, I'm like, wow, like it's mountains everywhere. Then it's really flat some places and streams. Korea is a very beautiful country. We went to Gangwon-do to do zip lining, and from the view, how because it was Korea's tallest zip line, so that was fun. You could see like how the river just like meandered, and it was just like, wow, we're about to be over this. Korea is has like a really beautiful like landscape. Kiana Williams, where's your question go? Is it easy to get a boyfriend in Korea? No. Unless you maybe a foreign boyfriend, like someone who's a foreigner, but unless you speak Korean, it's going to be pretty difficult. It's not impossible though, because like I said, I know people who are married to Koreans and they're foreigners, but there's all that backlash that you'll have to expect from the family who's like, oh, I really wanted my kid to be with a Korean girl or whatever. There are a lot of guys who are looking for something fast, quick, and easy, just a notch in their belt to say, I did this with a foreigner, or I'm cool because I dated a foreigner for 2 weeks, or they count the days. So maybe like for 42 days, I dated a foreigner. So if you don't speak Korean really well, or you're not really familiar with the culture, it's more difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. I had one boyfriend and it's not like we broke up on bad terms. We only broke up because of the distance. I was still in Korea. He went back to America. And then he was supposed to come back to Korea, or he was supposed to stay in America, but he got a job in Korea. And I was like, well, why are we still together? It was mutual. So it just depends, I think, on your level of Korean and stuff. Amelia Valencia, is it hard or easy to lose weight in Korea? It is very easy. I know a lot of girls who went to Korea. Um, maybe a little heavier than they wanted to be. And they mentioned how they were looking forward to losing weight because of all the stairs in the subway, all the healthier food options. Especially if you go as a teacher, you're on your feet a lot. There's a lot to sightsee and do. It's really easy to lose weight in Korea. Sometimes it happens like unintentionally. So I know if you actually want to or try, yeah, it's really, gyms are a little more expensive, but all the sightseeing you end up doing, all the stairs you end up climbing, the better food you end up eating, it's really easy to lose weight. Um, Charne Monique, do people wear wigs or do braids? I am not a fan of my natural hair. Anyone doing frontal installs? I actually don't know too much about like wig people, like wig installations. I know there are foreigners who'll be like, I got you. They're there as a teacher and they're like, yo, I could hook you up. Like my friend Bria, she does her own wigs and she's done them for other people. So I think if you like search around through Facebook and stuff in particular or Instagram, there's a lot of foreigners who live there and they're not necessarily there as a hairstylist, but they're like, I got you. Like I will hook you up. So I think you just have to like make some sort of connections in that way. Um, Ashley Nunez, are the trains easy to transport in and are they similar to New York City trains? They're better than New York City trains. For one, they're clean, they're on time, and they're clean. No, trains in Korea are dope. It's cheap, it's easy, it's clean, it's on time, they're fast and efficient. They get really crowded sometimes, and that's really annoying because, like, literally the doors will be in front of you and you're just like this because you're being pressed up against it. So, yeah, they're more crowded, but they're better than the New York trains. Um, Empress, should I stand BTS? Is that even a question? I think BTS should always be stand by everyone, always in every situation of life. I think they're amazing. I think you should stand them. um, Jasmine Lagunas, do you recommend teaching in Korea? I do. Literally, I've never met any other foreigner who taught in Korea and regretted it. A lot of people left because either like they had obligations back home they had to get back to go back to school or their kids or whatever life situation back home, or they keep extending. Like I've never met someone who taught and was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Most people love it. Like for me personally, I feel teaching makes me more like social, more confident. I don't think if I went to teach in Korea, if I stayed in America, and my be as confident as I am. Uh-oh. Says my connection's unstable. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, okay. Sorry. I just gotta it said my connection was okay. So yeah, I definitely do recommend teaching. I think it helped me grow for the better. I I owe a lot to being a teacher in Korea because speaking in front of people and students who are just looking at you and principals and teachers who are just looking at you and judging, I never thought that'd be something I could get through. But I think everyone should teach for at least 6 months to a year and you just learn a lot about yourself, especially when you move to another country on your own. You learn a lot. Um, Yo, these questions are coming in so fast. I'm trying to diversify it a little bit. Empress, how is it to teach in South Korea? Are bullying rates really high? The unfortunate thing about bullying in Korea is a lot of the teachers kind of like meh, like they just like kids will be kids. They just kind of like, oh, the kids will figure it out amongst themselves, which is not the right course of action to take, especially where South Korea is up there with the suicide rate, especially among young people. So that really pisses me off. Bullying is pretty bad in Korea because people don't talk about it and people ignore it and they expect kids, "Hwaiting, himnaseyo, stay strong," and that's not what you do. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Um, Wait, what's Rima's question? Hold on, do I gotta scroll up? Oh, wait, I just read it. Yeah. So bullying is not great. There's like, and that's why when I mentioned the Creeps in Korea video, how I mentioned I tried to be really nice to that kid because he was very small for his age and he was very tan, so he was bullied a lot. So I was like, oh, he likes English. We want to try to like, make him feel welcome or get something to look forward to every day. And then he decided to be all pervy and go in the bathroom stall and knock on the door and here's Johnny, peek under the stall. And it took everything I had not to kick him in the face. And I'm like, I was on your side, dude. Like I'm trying to be nice to you, but why are you being such a perv and such a creep? Bullying is bad. And whenever I would talk to my mentor teacher about, hey, why is she crying? Because kids would come in and holding their books and just crying. And I'm like, are you okay? And she just nods. And I know she's not because she's crying. So I would ask the teacher, I'm like, what's wrong with her? She's like, oh, it's okay. A kid teased her at recess or a kid made fun of her at lunch. I'm like, but she's not okay. She said, it's okay. Bullying is really, really annoying. They really expect you to do nothing about it. And I'm like, I'm not capable of doing nothing. So, whew. Sorry, getting mad. Because I had a bully. When I was in the sixth grade, this eighth grade girl used to pull my hair and call me a B and tell me how she wanted to fight me. And I did not know why. I never knew her. I never talked to her. And she wanted to fight me. And I was 2 years younger than her. You guys talking about Sally's? Oh, this is a good question, actually. Charnay Monique, can you explain the difference, like the different trash, like the dumpsters and stuff in Korea? Because they take recycling very seriously. You have like the plastic bin, you have like the cardboard bin, the paper bin, the absolute just trash that's non-recyclable, the glass, it's all separate. And if you're caught not doing it properly, then you can get fined. They even have like a food waste bin. You gotta separate everything. Like at my friend Bria's place, I was with her for 3 months last year. She there was like cameras outside of where all the garbage bins were. So she literally in her house, she had like a veranda where she would keep like a box for cardboard, a box for glass, a box for plastic, and the little tiny yellow baggies for food. So when you take it down, you can just put everything exactly sorted where it needs to be because you can get fined if you don't properly separate your trash. Wait, what am I missing? Y'all are talking about Sally's. Sally's Beauty Supply. I used to have a membership card there. That's where I got this really cool steam curler. It was like because I was trying to like curl my hair without using a flat iron and burn my hair off. So there's like this steam curler where you put water in it and like steam comes up and there's these curling rolls and has like a little port where the steam will absorb in the roll and it like keeps the hair curled. And they make those waves last like all day. I used to love me some Sally's. When I used to do my I-tip extensions when I was like 18, I used to have to go to Sally's. It used to cost me a lot, but it was worth it because they lasted for like 2 months at a time. Um, okay, Bingcho Chue. Is it easy to raise a pet in Korea, but animals should be treated like family? Oh, it is. She's answering a question. Yeah, I think lately I've been seeing a lot more people with dogs, for example, in Korea. I will say if you go to teach, it might be harder to find a living situation where the landlord will be okay with you having a pet, especially if you're in an EPIC program. So my friend Erin, she has a dog named Artemis, and he's the cutest thing ever. And the reason she didn't go through with the EPIC program is because she couldn't, like, in their like guidelines or whatever, they say you can't bring pets because it's harder to find housing. So she had to go through a hagwon, like an individual recruiter, an individual hagwon, and they happen to be okay with her having a pet with her. So yeah, I think it just depends because pets are becoming more common, but finding a housing situation might be more difficult. Oh, that was a good question. Where'd it go? Crap, where'd it go? Something about being curvy in Korea. Uh, oh no. Okay. Well, I don't know where the question was, but it was about. I think it was about being curvy, like having more curves. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry. I don't know if I saw curves or curls. um, okay, well, I'll just talk about curves then, because I think that's what I saw. So the way people look at curvy bodies, it depends where your curves are, because some big, they love curves up here. It's weird because even in Korea, people still act like a flat butt is actually more desirable. Like when you see idols with the perfect body by their standards, they're literally like this from behind. There's nothing there. Hip wise, they love hips. They like boobs and hips the most in Korea. I don't know if they are too on the booty train yet, so that kind of depends. Um, oh Jesus Christ! Thank you again. Could you do a video on understanding Korean won, especially like coins? I could try because actually, the coins are pretty similar to like how they are in America, like by the way the values broken up. Like actually, well, it's in my closet, but I actually have like a handful of Korean won because I'm a dork and I like to keep change like the coins from foreign countries. Like I have money from Hong Kong or change from Hong Kong, change from Japan, and change from Korea. It's pretty similar to how it is with US money, actually. Like the way it's broken up, like there's a 25 cent or like 25 valued one. There's like a 1,000 or point one. Yeah, I could probably make a video about that though. It will probably be a short one if you're okay with that, but I could do that. Um, oh, Des P, will you ever go back to Hong Kong? In your old vlogs, it seemed like you really enjoyed your time there. I absolutely adore Hong Kong. That is one of my favorite cities in the world. I haven't been to that many, but that's definitely up there. Next time I go, though, I will just make sure it's not as hot because I literally got sweaty from just standing doing nothing. That was like the hottest I've ever been in my life. I want to go again when it's a little bit cooler or just less like sticky. Um, Charna Monique, is it hard shipping things from from the US to Korea, aka Amazon? How long does it take? Actually, it's pretty fast. I've never used Amazon, but like whenever my mom would send me like a care package or something from the States to Korea, it would take no more than 2 weeks for sure. I want to say it was like maybe 8 days or something. And it's not like she expedited it or anything, but like these days shipping I think is fast. As long as you're in like a major or developed country, then shipping is no problem. When I used to order my clip-in extensions from the UK, those extensions got because DHL was pretty efficient in Korea. They have a lot of DHL deliveries and stuff. I think that stuff would like get to me in like 3 days, sometimes only like two. And I was like, I'd be at work and get a notification that something was at my door. I'm like, no way, no way is there that fast. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Shipping is dope. Thank you, JVS Mitchell. Do you buy Korean clothing? I do, but not really so much bottoms, not jeans, because unless they're like meant to be like the loose fitting baggy jeans, but Korean jeans have always been too small for me. No matter, like I'm like a 4 or like a 5 in US sizes, but I could not fit into Korean jeans. And I'm not even like a curvy person. Like I don't have like thighs or hips, and I could not fit into jeans. When I would try it on, it's like the jeans, the leg space is meant to be like the same size all the way up. Like your calf is supposed to be the same width as your thighs and your butt. Like I could not wear Korean jeans, but their blouses, their tops, their hats, the oversized shirts, the plaid or flannel tops. I love Korean tops. I can't do so much with Korean jeans. Skirts are cute too, but skirts in Korea are like really short. I don't like wearing really short skirts unless I have shorts on underneath. So that's kind of a problem. Ashley Nunez, how old do you have to be to drink in Korea? 19. You have to be 19. Which makes me feel so weird that in America it's 21. I'm like, what? It's dumb. Nalia Seal, is it true that Internet Explorer is faster than Google in Korea? Honestly, people keep saying how like the internet in Korea is supposed to be so much faster. I never really noticed the difference. Like I never felt like, wow, I get this is way faster. Like it wasn't really slow ever, but I didn't really notice like extra speed in anything like that. Um, this chat is funny. It's Georgie. Have you met or seen any K-pop idols before? If not, who would you like to meet? Um, Met them, no, but I've seen a few. Like I went to see DPR live like two or three times because I love them. I went to see Dean. I went to see Got Seven. I went to see Park Jimin, not the BTS Jimin, the other one from JYP. I haven't really met any. I've seen like the Twice people, two of them. As far as meeting them, there are so many I'd love to meet. Oh my goodness. I'd love to meet Hwasa. I'd love to meet Lisa. I'd love to meet, of course, Namjoon. I'd like to have a conversation with Dean if he could. Um, I'd like to meet Christian Yu. Oh my God, there's so many that I'd love to meet. I don't want to make this a whole thing, but yeah, I would absolutely love to meet so many of them. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, Karen Umana, Dean is amazing. I actually met him at a club in San Francisco. He's amazing. I'm jealous, Karen. Are you like one of those Karens? No, I'm just joking. I almost met him, but I literally left like 2 hours before he got to the club that my friends were at. I was like, oh, my tonsillitis is bad, so I'm gonna go home now. And then they're like, girl, Dean's here. And I was like, I was so hurt. I'd also like to meet Taeyang. That's my dude. Kevin Fan, are you excited for Blackpink's comeback? Yes, I cannot wait. I was just talking about how it's been over a year since we heard like new music from them, aside from the Lady Gaga Sour Candy song. So I'm very excited. I'm really curious what this concept's going to be because the promo pics look all dark and Lisa with the shortcut and the lip ring. Oh my God, I love Lisa so much. World Squishy, is housing in Korea better? Not yelling, love you. um, I think I like the housing. It's just expensive. Like the deposit is way bigger in Korea, but like I kind of like not having a key. I like just having to type in the number. I like the way the hot water works because it helps you save money. You have to like turn on your hot water. I love the floor heating as opposed to like a vent where the heat comes out. I like that the floor gets warm. Um, I like the air conditioning units I used to have. It wasn't like central air, it was like one unit. So I could have like one really nice cold room or open it up and let it spread out. I actually kind of like how the bathrooms are, where it's not like a tub or a shower, like the whole bathroom is essentially your tub. I kind of like that. But yeah, I like housing in Korea. I used to have like really big windows at my place. I really, really miss that. The only thing is it wasn't super common for me to find like a full legit oven. Ovens you kind of have to order off like G Market or buy at Emart, which is weird. All these trains, I feel like I keep missing stuff. Like I look over and people like Stan Sally's. I look over and it's a bunch of train emojis. What is happening? um, Melanie Han, are you planning on staying in the US from now on? Nope. I just don't know where I'm going to go next or what I'm going to do, especially if Trump is reelected. I am out faster than y'all can blink. I mean that. I'm not staying here if he's reelected. I came back because was ready for a change. I didn't want to teach anymore. I wanted to do more traveling. It started to hit me the second year of teaching when like the lesson plans were similar just for different students. I was like, this is fun and this is really great, but I really want to do something different. So I definitely want to do more traveling. I don't know where I see myself ultimately living, but I don't necessarily think I'll stay in America either. I really don't know. Jesus Christ says, if Trump's reelected, I'm going to study in Korea. Yeah. Yeah, I'm out. I don't know what I'm gonna do or where, but I mean it. I'm not staying here. If he's reelected, there's no hope for this country. It's really not. It really got to the point where even when I was like at the airport abroad, I would hide the American seal Because for some reason, at the airports, you see Trump talking on these screens, and I'm like, I'm on the other side of the world, and I cannot escape this fool. So when I would see him saying something dumb, and people are like, oh, chincha. So I would just like put my passport face down. I'm like, I'm Canadian, eh? Like I didn't want people to know I was American. Oh boy. Thank you, Cece. I'm 27. I don't know why so many people are asking how old I am today, but yeah, I'm 27. I think this is like the fourth person who asked today in this chat. Do I look younger today or something, or older? I don't know. Oh, Lighta Paul. Why do you hate Trump so much? I'm curious. Because he builds his whole platform on division. He builds his whole platform on generating hate to make his base feel empowered and stronger. He's a liar, a hypocrite, an idiot. He's hateful. He's vile, selfish, corrupt, and greedy. I can go on. I do not like him. He's never done anything good for other people. Everything he does, he tries to make about himself. He's ruined his brand. He's ruined his company. And I feel like the only reason he's campaigning so hard is because as soon as he's not a president, he can go to jail. Because apparently you can't arrest a sitting president, which doesn't make any sense to me. But once he's out of the office, he can go to jail. And that's what I hope happens. I'm sorry. God, he's so obsessed with Obama. Like, he cannot move on from that man. Everything that goes wrong now is somehow Obama's fault. And the fact that, like, there was an Ebola outbreak, he blamed Obama for that and said Obama should step down. Yet we have over 117,000 Americans who were dead from this virus, and he's doing a great job handling the kids. I'm not going to do this. I'm sorry. This is a brief overview of why I don't like him. He's such a liar. He's a hypocrite. He's awful, selfish, greedy, corrupt. Done. Jeffrey Lilane, did you listen to the BTS song Stay Gold? No. Is that a newer one? I don't think I heard, but I did finally hear a Jungkook song that you guys asked me to listen to last week, and I put it in my Creeps in Korea video, but I think the audio was a little too quiet, so I'm sorry. I'll probably put it in the video for tomorrow, but no, I haven't heard Stay Gold. I will, let me listen to it real quick. I'll just like gently play it in the background while I answer some questions. Stay Gold, Bangtan Sonyeondan. Oh, it's brand new, 14 hours ago. Oh, is this for, what language, is that Chinese? Japanese? Chinese. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna play this and listen. Yo, not for nothing, Namjoon has been my number one for 4 years now. Like, as soon as I saw who BTS was, my eyes were on his face and my ears were stuck to his voice. So I was like, that's my dude. But yo, Jungkook, lately, I don't know what he's doing, but I feel like he's been like showing that he exists as well. That's my dude. Okay, so this is Japanese. Thank you, because I still can't read kanji or anything. I love Namjoon with the purple hair. I remember when I first came to Korea, I was so excited because I had purple in my hair. And then when I saw like the Not Today and Spring Day comebacks, I was like, me and Namjoon match. We're in the same country. We both have purple hair. And I made that more exciting than it needed to be. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yippee wants to know if the train systems are hard to learn in South Korea. Thank you I think I said the trains are really easy. It took me a while just because I don't like the crowds of the trains and everything. And I didn't live in Seoul, so I only went on the weekends. So when I went to Seoul on the weekends, I would just follow my friends around anyway, and they knew where they were going. So I never had the apps or anything, but trains are very, very, very easy in Korea. Like, they have a million maps, they have a million apps. They make announcements at like every stop in English and Korean, sometimes in Chinese and Japanese too, depending on where you are, I guess, if it's more touristy. But everything's in English and Korean at least. So you can always get around. There's maps on the train, there's maps in the subway, there's the apps, and a lot of the trains have Wi-Fi too, so you don't have to worry about losing the connection. So yeah, I think I get around easier on trains in Korea than I did in New York City, for example. Fuck everything about the trains in New York. I could not figure that out. But in Korea, it's really easy. Jeffrey Lane, Jungkook is gonna wreck you for this song. His vocals, man. All right, I'm done. um, Karina L. Grape Namjoon needs to come back. He really does. um, Chan Sakura. I said this earlier. I think if you have a dog and you want to move to Korea, because you do have to get like a lot of shots. And my friend Erin did say that bringing her dog to Korea was pretty expensive, and the only airline that would accept him flying was Korean Air, and Korean Air is known to be the most expensive. And you got to find a landlord who's actually okay with it, because even her landlord, they said they were, but then they had a problem like, oh, why is your dog here? And she's like, you guys said it was okay. So it just depends. It depends on the size of the dog, especially if he's a big one, it's very unlikely. If he's smaller, there might be areas for you to work with a little bit more. Miss Brown Skin Girl. I didn't know. Oh crap. I didn't know BTS, but stumbled upon Jungkook's song "Brother Has Soul." That song is fire. I love hearing his voice. Like, it's just the fact that he's the youngest member. I feel like he was able to absorb more and learn from everything. And I don't. Can somebody ask the tattoo on his hand? Is that real? Where it's like army, but the A is a V for V, and then RM is RM, and then Y is Yoongi, and then the J is like Jin and Jungkook and Jimin. Is that a real tattoo? And then like the smiley face, because I know like they do fake tattoos for different concepts and different styles, but like I feel like I saw a picture where he had like those nude skin colored band-aids to cover them up. So I'm like, wait, are those real? And if that is so precious. Like the fact that it's kind of cool though that Army end up kind of working out for their names too. That's dope. I wish more of the members got tattoos, but and then is Jimin's Nevermind tattoo real? It's like on his ribs, like there. I remember the fake one, but I don't know if it's real or not. The one that's here. They're so cute. um, Wait, there was a question I saw that I thought was pretty good. It was about my students. Natini at ESC, have any of your students told you they watch your YouTube channel? It's actually really sweet because one of my kids in particular, she still comments like, teacher, I saw your video. You look pretty. Teacher, I'm still watching from Korea. She'll still send me random cacao messages too and update me like, teacher, I'm going to the beach with my family today. Or teacher, I didn't feel sick today. I feel better. It's so cute. But like every now and then there's a few comments. They're like, teacher, do you remember me? I'm in the 5th grade now. And I'm like, my heart is melting. So yeah, it depends. um, Wait, he has a tattoo, that a 13 tattoo? Where's that? Let me find out G-Man got ink. I'm just gonna Google G-Man 13 tattoo. G-Man 13. Oh, okay. Is it because he was born October 13th? Wait, I never saw that one before. Interesting. Um, that's so cute. I wish more of them would get tattoos. I know. I think I remember hearing Yoongi saying he wanted one, but because of like the stigma of tattoos in Korea, he's been holding himself back from getting it. It's Georgie. Do you enjoy any Western artists? Yeah, definitely. I think The Weeknd is quickly becoming one of my favorite all-time artists, like ever. That After Hours album just put him right back up at the top. I adore The Weeknd. I'm kind of obsessed with him. He did this SNL performance and appearance a few months ago, like right before the pandemic got really bad. And they had this funny song called On the Couch, and I never heard him speak before. And everybody told me he's in this movie Uncut Gems, so I gotta watch that. I saw the episode of American Dad he did, but I think these days, yeah, The Weeknd is one of my favorite singers by far. Namjoon for president. I freaking wish. Bianca Ariel, Shonu from Monster X loves that album. Wait, does he really? Shonu does have taste. I do remember seeing when they asked him about their favorite song and he said often. I was like, wait, what? He said that often was one of his favorite songs. I was like, okay, Shonu, I see you. All right, let me get back to some of these questions. I'm sorry. um, Jesus Christ, low key, any good places for tattoos in South Korea? It's funny because I should actually make a video about getting a tattoo in Korea because technically it's illegal because you're supposed to be like a licensed doctor or something to be able to operate an ink pen or whatever. But when I went to one place. I went to Inkholic in Gangnam, and that's where I got both of my tattoos. I got I got this one there. It's a Linkin Park quote. I can't fall back now. I came too far. Hold myself up and love my scars. I love Linkin Park. I grew up listening to Linkin Park. And then I'm wearing a bodysuit, so I can't show you. But on my ribs here, I have an Edgar Allan Poe quote because he's my favorite poet. And I'm from Baltimore, and he has like a lot of history with Baltimore because he lived there and worked there for a little bit. He died there, unfortunately. But it says it's all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream. And when I went, I was in the taxi and I was talking to the tattoo artist on Cacao, and it's really like sketchy and low key because first they told me, hey, you can meet me around back. Like there was no like explicit sign saying Inkholic or anything. It was upstairs and it was almost like an apartment door. It's a major tattoo salon, don't get me wrong, but I went to a few to get like a consultation to see what it would cost. And a lot of it is like really low key. Like you got to be buzzed in. And once you get in, you see it's very official. Like they have examples of their art. There was this one called Soul Inc. and Jay Park's been there a few times. And they got all their beds and rooms and clean medical equipment, but it's very low key. I went to Inkholic for both of these, but I think Soul Inc. is like their most famous one in South Korea. But yeah. Yippee dog, can you explain debit cards and sending money? I can try because like when you go there, like all the counselors or whatever, they all kind of like do a lot of this for you. I got a very basic debit card along with everyone else. Like it didn't have the chip. It wasn't like a major Visa card, a MasterCard or anything. It was like just a bank card, a generic bank card. So if I wanted to shop online and link it to PayPal and stuff, I had to get an actual Visa card or MasterCard. So I went to the bank and I had one of my friends who speaks fluent Korean. She was a sweetheart for agreeing to sit here and do all this with me because it took forever. I had my ARC, I had my passport, I had my work contract. I had to use her phone number because I didn't have a phone number at the time. And it's a lot of paperwork. All of it was in Korean, so she did it for me. And that's actually the card I still have to use because when I started my YouTube channel, that was my only debit card. It was like the main one I was using. So when I made my AdSense account and everything, I linked up my Nonghyup bank card to it. And now to this day, even though I've been in America, all my AdSense revenue goes to that credit card or that debit card in Korea. And luckily, it's a fluke. I don't know how I was able to do this, but I was able to link that to my PayPal because if you're not a Korean citizen for some reason, it's difficult to link your PayPal to your debit card. I don't know why, but it worked for me. Debit cards are interesting. You can go to the ATM to pretty much do anything. You can transfer money at the ATM. You can see your balance at the ATM. You can pay bills at the ATM because when you get your contract and your housing agreement, they'll give you like a bank account for an account number to send all your money to. So like your utilities, your rent, sometimes you have to pay like a difference in your rent that the school doesn't cover. And you do all that at the ATM. It's amazing. You also have an app, but when I upgraded my phone, I couldn't log back in because I didn't have the same phone number. It was a mess, but the ATM, you can literally do everything at the ATM. Oh, Karen Umana, in the end, goes crazy forever. I love Linkin Park so much. It's funny because, well, not funny, but the day that I found out Chester Bennington passed away, I actually found out because do you guys know Christian Yu? He like works with DPR Live and he's fine as hell. He posted about it. He's like, I can't believe this happened. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. I was like, nuh-uh. So I Googled it and I was like, no way. Like I was in tears. I didn't believe it. And then later that day, so I'm just blasting all my Linkin Park songs. I'm just like, this is not real. This can't be real. And I got into a car accident that day on the bus. And I will never forget this. July 20th was a horrible day. And I remember my mentor teacher, I told her, hey, I'm in a car accident, so I'm going to be late for work. And she didn't ask me, was I okay? She just said, how late will you be? It just goes to show you like the work ethic and the expectations of working in Korea. Luckily, I was fine. It was like a small shoulder thing, but some car hit the back of the bus and he kept going. But the bus driver was like, "Ah, chincha." He was so mad. But yeah, that was a horrible day. So literally 2 weeks later, that's when I got my tattoos because I love Linkin Park. Oh, there's a dark side of K-pop. Wait, what's going on? Trine Monique, last question. Is it hard to communicate with a realtor and talk about bills? Well, the thing is, when you go there, if you're going as a teacher, your school kind of has all that sorted out for you. Sometimes if you want to like upgrade, then you probably have to have a Korean person go with you and talk with them. But all your bills and stuff, literally, it's just all, you get it in the mail. It shows you, all of it's in Korean. So it's difficult, but it shows you based on your bank account that you have, the bank you should send it to. Like if you have a Nonghyup or a One Bank or KB Hana, like it shows you all, they have different accounts with every bank. So when you pay your bill, you can use any of those banks to send it to based on your own bank account. And all it does, it shows you the due date, it shows you how much and where to send it. And you get it every month. So paying bills is really easy. As far as communicating with like the landlord and stuff, it just depends. Like the landlord I had in Jeju, very good at English. The landlord I had in Taean, we didn't never talked. Aside from that time where he barged in my door to tell me, there's a gas leak, open your window, be careful. I've never, yeah. Oh, we talking about Beethoven now? Every time I look over at this chat, it's something else. Beethoven. Yeah, apparently, based on some book descriptions, he was a black man or part black or might have been black. And I saw this meme that said he was deaf and could still make music and stay on beat. It's like, yeah, that's definitely a black man. So that's what's up. Mimi Miriam? Wait, what's the question? Mimi Miriam. I'm going to try and scroll up and find it. It's really hard to keep up with this chat. I'm sorry. Like, and then some of my stories kind of go too long. I realize that. Wait, Mimi, what's your question? I can't find it. If you're still here. I don't see the question. I'm sorry. If you could say it one more time. Okay. Okay, I see it. I see it. Sorry. Mimi Miriam. Hey Isis, how is it like for a black girl shopping in Gangnam? Like, have you been shopping in Gangnam? What was your experience? Are there weird toward black people in shops and clubs? Okay, shopping, I haven't noticed anything because I'm black. One thing I will say that caught me off guard when I first got to Korea, and not just shopping in Gangnam necessarily, they would kind of just walk around and follow me. Like they would stay in close proximity. Like if I'm looking at stuff, their arms crossed right behind me, smiling in my face. Like, I don't know if that's like good customer service or if they think I'm gonna do something, but apparently other foreigners, like I talked about this with other foreigners. There was this white girl who was in my province the third semester that I taught, and we kind of talked about this, and she said it happened to her too. So I don't know if it's a black thing or a foreigner thing, or if they're just trying to be extra hospitable with customer service. But yeah, they kind of walk close and smile and just kind of, they're just there. Like, even when I would be like, you're too close, like I would walk, stop and turn. I'm like, why are you here? Like, and then honestly, that would kind of make me not want to shop and I would just leave. That was ridiculous. Clubbing, I don't think I've ever experienced anything that was specifically anti-black, but I have seen stuff that straight up say no foreigners. So it depends. It's really frustrating. Um, yeah, we're talking about Beethoven. The only song I can play from him on piano is for at least. Yeah, that's the only one I know. Um, have you seen a fight in Korea? Actually, yeah, I've seen. We were in Itaewon, and these bouncers beat the crap out of this drunk Korean dude. Like they pulled him to the side where there were no cameras. Like CCTV is everywhere in Korea. They pulled him to the side where there happened to not be like any cameras angled there, and they beat him up. And after it was done, he like bowed to them and then walked away. I'm like, did you just like apologize for having to get your ass beat? I don't know what that was, but yeah, I've seen fights in Korea. um, I've never seen someone just take a butt whooping like that and then goes and walks away. Keep in mind though, he was drunk, so he probably didn't fully understand what was happening. I don't know. Um, Ruwade, I'm so sorry about these names. I swear, I just can't read. I'm really bad at this. I'm trying to keep up with it. Ruweda Omer, what's your tips for coming to Korea? Um, It depends on like how long you plan to stay, if you're gonna visit or live here, but or here. I still feel like I'm in Korea sometimes. Live there. I would say to at least know how to read Korean, even if you can't like speak it, because even if you need to like translate something and you need to say it to a person, if you could like read the text so they could understand it, at least know how to read it. Bring some of your essential hair stuff and skin stuff, like lotion, because lotion, deodorant, and black hair stuff aren't really easily accessible and it costs a lot more while you're there. Um, Honestly, I would actually say pack light because shopping is really cheap and you're gonna want to buy stuff. Like half of the clothes that I brought with me to Korea, I ended up just throwing away when I left because I wasn't wearing it because I bought all this other cute stuff in Korea instead. Those would probably be some of my major tips. And probably try to like download a lot of the apps like Naver for translation, Naver Maps, Kakao Maps, Kakao. Yeah, I think those would be my major tips. Yippee dog, top 5 Korean dishes. Samgyeopsal. I always love me some pork belly. I actually have not had that since like March. I'm sad. Um, Naengmyeon is the best in the summertime. It's literally ice noodles and it's amazing. It sounds kind of weird, but it's really popping. Kimchi bokkeumbap, which is like kimchi fried rice. But I like it with cheese too. Some place you can get cheese on it. I like dakgalbi. And I think I like kimchi jjigae to round out the top 5. I like kimchi jjigae in the winter when it's cold, but I don't like it too spicy. But some places make it more spicy than others. Um, She10? Does anyone know plane ticket costs from Korea to US or US to Korea? It depends where you're leaving from, honestly. Because if you're like on the West Coast, for example, it's probably cheaper to fly to Korea because it's closer. If you're on the East Coast, like for me, my one-way ticket the first time cost me like $560. Leaving Korea was actually cheaper, and I was flying in the winter too, so winter makes it cheaper. When I left Korea, I think my ticket was only like 400 and something. But from the East Coast, for example, or West Coast, my friend Erin, who lives on the East Coast, her ticket was like, I want to say it was like, but she also flew out in the summer too. But hers is probably like four something. But round for one way, but round trip, I think she did say it was like 900 or 850. It depends on the airline. It depends where you're leaving from, and it depends on the time of year you go. There's and the day of the week you're going. Like it's annoying how you gotta like jump through all these hurdles to get a good, reasonable, fair price. I, for example, left like February 2nd, 2017. It was in the middle of the week and it was in winter, so mine was pretty cheap. Linasia Coots, is the water in Korea bad for black hair or does it depend on where you live? Sorry. Linasia Coots, did I say that right? I'm sorry. The water, I don't think it's any worse or better for black hair than any other ones. Like I didn't notice my hair falling out or getting dry or anything. They do say you're not really supposed to drink the tap water. In Jeju, it's safe. Like I drink the tap in Jeju, no problem. On the mainland, I wouldn't do that though. You kind of have to buy bottled water or have a filter thing. But as far as like washing my hair or on my skin, washing my face, the water's fine. I don't think I noticed anything in particular, like, oh no, my hair's dry or anything like that. Can you tell me specifically where in Korea a lot of foreign restaurants like McDonald's, they're everywhere. I was really pretty surprised actually. Like most of the fast food places, with the exception of like Lotteria, there's like Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, Popeyes. I mean, a lot of it is concentrated in Itaewon, but McDonald's, everything is everywhere in Korea. You can have it delivered to you, which I guess these days in America you can too, but Korea did it first, just so y'all know. Everybody's talking about McDonald's now. The weirdest thing I tried at McDonald's though in Korea, they have, you know how we have like apple pies? They had a corn pie where it was full of corn. Dude, Korea does the most with corn. Corn is like in everything in Korea. I hate it. I think I don't like corn anymore. And then they also had fries with like chocolate sauce on them. Like you could order fries with chocolate syrup on them. And that was a dish at McDonald's in Korea. The dishes are definitely a little bit weird. Janelle Jones, yeah, they got Popeyes in Korea. They got Popeyes, they got KFC, which a lot of Koreans like to call it Korean fried chicken instead of Kentucky fried chicken. So that was funny. Danny Doe, where did you get your contacts? These are from Olens. These are, what are they? I think they're the VV ring ones in like the gray color. I get all my contact lenses from Olens. They're my absolute favorite because they always have a deal where it's buy one, get one free, buy two, get one free, buy one, get one half off. It's always some sort of promotion. Olens is where I get all of my lenses from. Wait, okay, what am I mixing about Lorax? What's happening? Winter Bear, what is Lorax? Ruby 90 always wanted to try colored contacts. Yeah, because it's actually way more affordable to get your prescription and the lenses there. When you go to like get them, they can give you like an eye exam real quick. It's amazing. Oh, it's Linasia. I'm sorry, Linasia Couts. I'm sorry, I can't read. I'll just say Linasia. I'm sorry. Lorenzo Belly, why do people need a lot of soju to get drunk? Like I see bottles in dramas, LOL. So is it the same in real life? Soju is actually not very strong. I'm by all means a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, but I could probably finish a bottle and a half and be buzzed. So like if people are drinking and eating, it just dilutes the effects even more. Soju's pretty weak by most standards. Like it's nothing vodka or tequila or rum or Henny or anything like that. So yeah, soju's kind of light. But actually, I really like soju. I think soju is probably my favorite alcohol just because it is light and it mixes really well with most things. um, yep, Karen Umana, do they got tequila out there like that? They have pretty much every alcohol. I forgot which one. Someone told me was illegal, but then I did see it, so I think they were lying. Somebody said Hennessy was illegal. But the first time and the only time so far that I had Hennessy was actually in Korea. We went to a hookah bar. Excuse me. We went to a hookah bar and I had Hennessy, even though someone said it was illegal. But they have pretty much every alcohol there. It's just soju is everywhere because it's so cheap. It's at every convenience store for like $2, and you can be lit on your rooftop, on the corners, and norebang, clubbing, dinner. Yeah, it's awesome. Caramel latex. I heard online shopping in Korea is terrible. Is that true? The only thing is just it's more difficult. Like, I don't know why it's so extra. Like, there's so many things you have to confirm. Depending on where you want to shop, you have to like transfer them money. And then the sizing. See, when I'm ordering Korean clothes, I don't like to buy that online because I can't try it on to see if it actually fits. So I've only shopped online from foreign stores, like Pretty Little Thing, Forever 21, and H&M are pretty much my mains while I was in Korea. These days, it's pretty much almost strictly Pretty Little Thing. That's like my favorite store. But if I'm gonna buy Korean clothes, with the exception of like Yes Style, then I just go in person to buy it. L'Oreal Jabelli, remember that pancake place with the hot dudes? What's it called? And haha, do you miss it? What was it called? It was in Itaewon. It's like the Pancake House. I think it's straight up just called the Pancake House. But y'all, when I'm telling you, there were hella dudes there that just looked like Christian you. Like they got like curly, cute hair and like tattoos everywhere. They, you can hear their accent, but they speak really comfortable English. Got their sleeves rolled up so you can see the tats and like you can see muscles in their yo. The place is worth going to just for the waiters. I'm just saying. So it depends. uh, Naila Seal. It is. What time is it here? It is 5:46 p.m. my time. Um, wait, whose birthday is it? I feel like I need to make this chat bigger or try to slow it down. Oh, okay. But me, happy birthday, 23. Oh, so you're 97, baby. Like Jungkook. Hey, 97. 생일주가 합니다. 생일주가 합니다. And that's all I know. But happy birthday. um, yeah, Shana, I'm very confused today because like I keep looking back and I see Lorax, I see trains, I see people talking about Sally's, and I see happy birthday because the chat is. I think it's because there are more people here, so it's scrolling way faster, and I'm really trying my hardest to keep up. And even while I'm reading it, it'll be scrolling up. I'm like, no, 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 no. Yippee dog, how is the street food in Korea? Street food is the best, especially while clubbing. Yo, there were so many times where we were in Hongdae and we're like, yo, let's go to this is one vendor dude. He is so sweet. He is so cool. He is very loyal. He was always out in the same corner serving the same bomb ass skewed food on his stick. And he's always playing like the most lit music. Like it's always BTS or DPR Live or Blackpink or something. Like he's his own jukebox. And it's a really good deal. Like you get all these skewers, I can't speak. And it would be for like 5,000 won. If you didn't have the fifth dollar, he would give it to you at a discount. Street food is amazing. It just mixes with alcohol really well because it's greasy. It's funny. This video is actually supposed to be more about dating. I'm probably gonna have to change the title because I think it's just another FAQ Friday. So I think I'll just change the title to not be about dating because I'm not getting too many questions about dating. Charnay Monique. Cece, I don't think I can deal with the elderly in Korea when I feel disrespected. My mouth is uncontrollable. Here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. The thing that kind of gives me solace with old people is it's not just foreigners. Even young Korean people are like, yeah, ajma, like stop. Because we'll be all going on the same bus and you get an elbow to the gut by some old lady trying to get her seat. And it happens to Koreans too. And they're like, oh, no, chincha, like, ajma. Like, I don't know. I'll give them the look. I'll be like really? But you kind of deal with the elbows. I did not know elbows were so powerful until I started catching them from old ladies. Old guys don't really push as much as old ladies do. It's weird. Old guys will push, but they don't elbow. I think that's like an ajma thing. Oh boy. She said my mouth is uncontrollable. Just don't get deported. That's the thing. You got to keep your temper because authorities will almost always align with the Korean and that you'll be in trouble. And then you don't want to cut your experience short because you got deported or attacked anyone. Cece, did you see a lot of interracial relationships? Actually, I was kind of surprised. Like you do see like, I feel like I see it more often with Korean guys and foreign girls, like walking in their matching suits with a white girl, walking arm in arm with like a curly haired girl or a black girl. And I'm like, wow, okay. I don't really see so much with Korean girls dating like a black guy or a white dude. I think of all the interracial relationships, like the matchings, I think the most common one is a Korean girl with a white guy because almost every white male teacher that I've met in Korea, they had a Korean girlfriend or wife or fiance. I think that's like the most common pairing. But yeah, it started to become more and more common because, you know, there's the thing with like riding the white horse or the black horse or whatever, where if a Korean guy dates a foreigner, it's cool. But if a Korean girl dates a foreigner, she's a traitor. Kind of like with black girls. If we date outside our race, then we're considered traitors and sellouts. But black dudes, when they date outside their race, they like, yo, I see you got your Snow Bunny, you got your Becky, that's what's up. I see you out here. It's the same, regardless of country, unfortunately. K Brooks, are couple outfits really a thing? Absolutely. They match hats, shoestrings, jeans, sweaters, everything. Couple culture is severe in Korea. um, Afro Latina here. Hey, Karen. I'm sorry. Honestly, this is probably the first time in weeks I said Karen and not meant like, okay, Karen. Like, so I got to get used to Karen is legit a name, and I keep forgetting that. There's some good Karens out there too. Um, Caramel latex. Have you ever considered teaching English in Japan? I have. The only problem is it's really expensive, and a lot of the programs don't help you with paying for housing. And I'm not trying to go to another country and struggle financially while I'm there. I was actually going to do that after Korea. One of my friends referred me to a program, and they offered me less than her because she had been doing it for a while and she got her raise and everything. So when I found out she was making more than me and still struggling, I was like, well, I'm going to make less than you and I'm going to be struggling even more. Like, I don't want to go and live paycheck to paycheck in another country. So I thought about it, but Japan's really expensive. Even the like 8 or so days I was there, I spent so much money on transportation alone. So I don't think I could. Nah, I definitely want to visit again for sure. Because when I went, I wasn't YouTubing yet. And I really regret that I didn't get to vlog or record anything aside from what was on Snapchat. So I definitely plan to go back again. Yippee dog, were you homesick a lot? The only times it felt bad was during the holidays. Like when I'm like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, or oh, it's Christmas. Christmas and Thanksgiving were the worst. Halloween was lit. My birthday was lit. 4th of July, don't care about. Memorial Day, like most of those holidays were fine. It's just Christmas and Thanksgiving were really bad for me. So me and my friends, we got together and we would like exchange gifts or like, let's go out and get drunk tonight. And I'm like, I'm down. But no, I was not homesick, like ever really. Friends become family and it makes it easier. Like the second Thanksgiving, we had a Friendsgiving. So like we went to my one friend's house who actually had an oven, and I don't cook. I'm learning. But my friends, you know, they all cooked and we all prepped and hung out together, got drunk, ate, hung out. The only time you probably will ever get homesick is during the holidays, I think. I've never been to San Francisco, so I'm not sure how expensive it is compared to each one. Um, yeah, it's actually this Karen thing. It's funny because one of my mom's like friends from like school back in the day, she changed her name from Karen to Kern. She said, y'all not gonna call me Karen. My name's Kern now. Diana Ahmad, do you see idols on the streets? It's possible. It's more likely in Gangnam, but it's not very likely. Like I kind of hate. I'm sad about this because last October when I went to watch the firework festival, based on where I was and where JB posted an Instagram story watching the fireworks, we were so close, and I didn't even see him. I'm like, bro, I could have like touched you. Like based on where he was in that angle, I was no more than like 5 minutes from him. He was like crossing this bridge, and we were like right. I was so sad. So like you find that you're probably in close proximity to them a lot of the time, and the fact that so many people wear masks, not just because of Corona, but a lot of people wore masks because of the pollution, because of bad allergies when they felt sick. So yeah, it's not impossible, but it's not super likely. It just depends on where you are too. Um, places. Okay, Jesus Christ. Best places. Itaewon, Hongdae, Gangnam, etc. to stay and so for vacation. I would actually recommend when you go to not just stay in one area. Like, I think if you're going and maybe you get a guest house in like Itaewon or something, I think you should try to go out to see all the other places because, you know, they're like 20-minute train rides from each other. So I think you should just try to see as much as you can. You know what I mean? Like, I say this a lot. My biggest regret is not traveling more, not going outside of Seoul more. Like, I say like a lot. I'm sorry. I want to see more of the country of Korea. I think when you go, there's a lot more than just Hongdae and Itaewon and Gangnam that people should try to get out and see. Um, so I see I missed something again. Somebody told everyone to say wrinkled napkins, and now everyone's saying wrinkled napkins. What is happening? um, okay. Oh, she said don't let those wrinkled napkins. Oh, okay. One thing that kind of I still don't fully understand with older people in Korea, like I don't understand why they're hunched over so much. Like some of them literally can't really stand upright. They're hunched over almost at like a 90-degree angle. And people told me like back in the day supporting the Korean War, making stuff in like the Asian squat that now their backs are stuck like that, which really is sad though. Cece, were you scared when you traveled to South Korea for the first time? What's your biggest tip for traveling alone as a woman? Honestly, I was so much more excited than anything. I was just ready for this journey to start because it's something I'd looked into for years. All the YouTube videos I watched, trying to learn Korean, trying to be familiar by watching movies and stuff. I was just excited. I wasn't scared. I was just at least know how to read Korean. Even if you don't speak it, because if you go as a teacher, you're not really supposed to speak anyway. I would just say, please just make sure you can at least read Korean or understand how to ask questions. Yeah. My thing though, it would be important to try to figure out how to get a phone plan and everything or Wi-Fi egg or whatever so you can have a stable connection. Because I do know people who legitimately went to Korea, never got a Korean number, never got a Wi-Fi egg or anything. So getting in touch with them was hard because they could only talk to you if they were like connected to Wi-Fi somewhere, which is really annoying. So make sure you have some Wi-Fi, make sure you can read Korean, and I think you'll be good. All right, I think I'm gonna go for about 7 more minutes because I still gotta edit this One Nation video because I wanna try and upload that for tomorrow. Oh boy, that video, oh, this whole story is such a mess. So now that we got more people in the chat, have you guys heard of One Nation? I'm still very curious. Um, Pile H, any vegan food options? There are a lot of places. Well, there are more these days, I think, for vegans, but it's not very common. Korea is very, very meat heavy. Like, even if you get a soup, there's like chicken in the broth or like meat in the broth. Like, everything has meat to some degree in it or an animal part to some degree. There are some places in like Itaewon or Gangnam that are becoming more upscale and have vegan options or vegan sections of the menu. But in the countryside, it's not very likely to find vegan options. All right, I see a lot of people are like, who's One Nation? I was the same until like 2 days ago. So apparently, from my understanding, there are 3 Korean rapper wannabes, and they had this group chat with these minors who were aged like 13 to 17. Some were adults, but a lot of them were minors, all Black girls, and they kept asking them for nudes, being very explicit about sexual things they wanted to do with them, calling them dykes because they had short hair, saying they should be more light-skinned. Yeah, Chili made a whole video about this. I encourage everyone to go and watch that. There's this Instagram account, One Nation Canceled, One Nation Victims, and they tell you all about this. But I was asked to make a video to try and like out them a little bit more, and that's what I'm gonna edit in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna start editing that one. So I'm gonna try and upload that for tomorrow. Yeah, Karen Dykes. He said Dykes. He called them Dykes. Like, I wish I could make this stuff up. And the fact that they have like Black girlfriends defending them and not, we gotta do better, yo. This is crazy. I never heard of them before like 2 days ago. So this is what's happening right now. Apparently this was like last year from I think February to like September, but it's being addressed now because I think a girl went on Twitter and talked about it, and then another girl who was a victim saw it, and everybody kind of united and said, yo, let's out them. And that's what's happening right now. So I'm going to help in any way that I can, even though I'm still not, because when I hear their Instagram names and then their real life names, I'm like, wait, Sleepy and Jug and Fuckboy Man, like, it's a mess. Like, they're clowns. I met 2 of them very briefly, but yes, they're clowns. They're just as clownish as they seem online. They are in person. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Lauren Jabelli, honestly, who cares what our skin shade is? It's like all, why is it scrolling up so much? The personality that matters. I absolutely agree. And it's, I mean, I'm light skinned, so I don't, people, you can't really talk, but it frustrates me that people are treated like ugly or less than because they're darker. And it's funny how like whiter people keep trying to tan to be darker, and then people who are darker keep wanting to be light. It's really, really annoying. So I'm going to try to make this video and do it justice. I talked with a few of the girls on a Instagram video chat, like, I guess like 4 hours ago now. So I'm trying to get this going. I'm hoping that Chili's video was just the first of many. I'm hoping more people come out and use their voice to be like, yo, this is not okay. Because I can't help but feel like if this was a group full of white girls, people would be like, oh, this is an outrage. They need to be in prison. But because they're young Black girls, it's like, oh, well, it's your fault. And what were you doing talking to them? As soon as they got sexual, you should have just left the chat. Somehow it's the girl's fault. Sorry. But yeah, so I saw somebody said it's like June Lee all over again. Kind of, yeah, a little bit, except he's still going. If you apparently like yesterday, I think he uploaded a video like the truth about Shayla and Chili Got Soul. Like, bruh, let it go, take the L and move on. Like, nobody's talking about that anymore. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Can we make an IG group chat? Yeah, we can do that. I'm not really sure how that works. Like, I got added into one on Instagram. I'm getting old. I don't fully know how all this works anymore, but if y'all want to make a group chat, we can do that. I will encourage you guys, before you watch my video tomorrow, if you go on Instagram and find One Nation Canceled and One Nation Victims, it's a private account because apparently there are still a lot of people who support these guys and are trying to infiltrate the group and get it or the pages and get them taken down. So I think you gotta like DM them first, and maybe if you mention like, hey, I was just on a live with CC Lesson 3 and I want to read up about what they did, then maybe that'll be enough to like let them accept you or whatever. But yeah, it's all private, but you can literally hear audio from these guys' mouths. You can see screenshots. You can see videos of them doing weird stuff like humping their phones. I cannot make this stuff up. They're nobodies. Their music's garbage. So if you guys want to know more about it, before you see tomorrow's video, then I think you guys should check out those Instagrams. So I think we're at like the 2-hour mark, And I'm going to wrap this up until next week. But yeah, if you guys want to do like an IG chat, let me know, because you're probably gonna have to add me. I don't really know how that works. Say what, humping phones? Yeah, there's a video of dude literally humping his phone. I don't know what that does or who that's for, but yeah. So thank you guys for staying with me for this long. I don't know if this later time works better for more people. I'm trying to figure out a good time to do it because I'm on the West Coast. I know a lot of people watch from the East Coast. A lot of people also watch from the UK and Europe, and they're probably asleep. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next Friday, and tune in for tomorrow's video if you want to learn more about One Nation so we can all collectively cancel these pedophiles. So thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next week. Annyeongni!